All right, today we are diving into a concept that is, and I'm not exaggerating here, a total game changer for how you see your relationships. It's called attachment theory, and honestly, it's like getting the instruction manual for how we connect with other people. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever been there? You're in an argument and it feels like you're both just reading from a script. It's the same fight over and over and you have no idea how you got there again. It's super frustrating, right? Well, it turns out there's a really good reason for it. And that reason is attachment theory. Basically, the idea is that our very first relationships, I'm talking about when we were infants with our caregivers, created a kind of blueprint in our heads. This is called our internal working model, and it's our unconscious guide for how love is supposed to feel and work for the rest of our life. Now, this isn't some new-fangled idea. It's built on decades of solid research. It all started with John Bowlby back in the day. Then Mary Ainsworth came along with her famous strange situation studies with little kids. And then, the real breakthrough for us adults was when researchers like Cindy Hazen and Philip Shaver connected all those dots to our romantic lives. So yeah, this stuff is legit. So what did all that science actually uncover? Well, it found that most of us fall into one of four main patterns, or as we're calling them, relationship blueprints. Let's get into what they are, and as we do, just kind of see if one of them feels a little familiar.
First up, we've got secure attachment. You can think of this as the foundation for a healthy, balanced connection. It's pretty much what we're all hoping for, even if we don't have the words for it.
People with a secure style have this amazing balance, you know? They're totally cool with getting close to someone, but they're also fine with their independence. Deep down, they believe they're worthy of love. This means they can say what they need, they don't get totally overwhelmed by their emotions, and, this is huge, when they fight, they know how to fix it without the whole relationship feeling like it's going to collapse. Okay, next is the anxious style. Imagine your need for connection is like a smoke detector. For someone with an anxious style, that detector is incredibly sensitive. The professionals call it being hyperactivated. So this style is all about a deep desire for closeness, but it's paired with this massive fear of being abandoned. A text that takes too long to get a reply, a weird tone of voice, that can feel like a 5-alarm fire. And when they feel that distance, they might do what are called protest behaviors, like calling over and over, just trying to get that connection back. This often comes from a childhood where care was inconsistent. Sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't. Now, on the flip side, we have the avoidance style. If the anxious system goes into overdrive, the avoidance system does the opposite. It tends to deactivate. It basically powers down the need for connection as a way to stay safe. For someone with this blueprint, independence and self-reliance are everything. Getting too close emotionally can feel really uncomfortable, almost suffocating. So when a conflict pops up, their main move is to pull away and create space. It's a survival strategy they likely learned as a kid, especially if expressing needs wasn't really welcome or was met with a kind of emotional blank wall. And that brings us to our last style, which is the most complex one. Disorganized attachment. This happens when the internal blueprint is just full of contradictions. It's kind of like a mix of both anxious and avoidance strategies all jumbled up.
The core struggle here is just gut-wrenching. The very person you're supposed to go to for comfort is also someone you're afraid of. That creates this constant internal push-pull. They want connection so badly, but they're also terrified by it. So you might see them chase after a partner one minute and then shove them away the next. Trust is incredibly hard, and this style is often tied to a background of trauma.
So here's a quick cheat sheet. It really boils down to the question that runs through their head when things get stressful. The secure person thinks, we can figure this out. The anxious person is thinking, are you going to leave me? The avoidant person defaults to, I've got to handle this myself. And the disorganized person is stuck with, I need you, but you're scaring me. See how those core beliefs lead directly to their action? Okay, so that's all the theory, but how does this stuff actually play out, like in a real-life who left the dishes in the sink kind of argument? Let's take a look.
So with a secure partner, feeling a little off might lead to a calm conversation, right? Hey, I'm feeling a bit disconnected. But in that classic anxious avoidant trap, which is, by the way, the most common difficult pairing, it's a whole different story. The anxious partner's fear makes them push forward, which triggers the avoidant partner's fear of being trapped, which makes them pull back, and bam! You're in that endless, frustrating dance again.
All right, so here's the big payoff. Why does any of this matter? Because knowing your attachment style isn't just interesting psychological trivia. It is, for real, a relationship superpower. Once you know your blueprint, you suddenly have so much more control. First, you get the self-awareness to catch yourself before you have that automatic, knee-jerk reaction. Second, you get way better at picking partners because you can spot the dynamics that are either going to be good for you or really, really triggering. It helps you ask for what you need, fight smarter, and maybe most importantly, it gives you a clear map for your own healing.
And that leads us to the absolute best part of this whole thing. This is so important. Your attachment style is just your starting point. It is not a life sentence. You can change. You can grow.
So how do you actually do it? How do you move towards security? Well, it's a process. You start by learning to manage your emotions better, and you start to question those old stories you tell yourself, like no one ever sticks around. You intentionally practice secure habits, and this one is critical. You seek out friendships and relationships with secure people who can show you a new, healthier way to connect. And of course, getting professional support like therapy can make a world of difference.
I just love this quote from the research. The idea of becoming earned secure. It's so powerful. It means that even if you didn't get that secure blueprint handed to you as a kid, you can build it yourself. You can earn it through your own hard work and by surrounding yourself with good, supportive people.
So let's leave it here. Your attachment style is the map of where you've come from, but you get to choose where you're going. So my question for you is, what's just one small, secure thing you can try to practice this week? Maybe it's clearly stating a need, or maybe it's just giving your partner the benefit of the doubt. Think about it.